chosen one. Your daughter needs help. Open it now. The weight in the air has been heavy lately. You felt it. There's been a silent cry moving through your atmosphere, one that doesn't use words but pulls on your heart with a spiritual grip. It's not random. It's not mistaken. And it's not your imagination. There is a reason you feel drawn to this moment, this message, and this truth. Because today is not just another day. This is the hour where something must be seen with fresh eyes and a brave heart. Something has been happening beneath the surface. And today it is time to uncover it. This message isn't for everyone. But if your spirit has been alert, if your dreams have been louder, if your emotions have been stirred with no clear explanation, it's because your soul already knows what this is. There is a shift happening, and your awareness is required. Watch this video until the end. Don't miss a single moment and write your warmest wishes in the comments and write Amen along with the number 99. When we express hope together, we energize the universe to respond in alignment. Now, chosen one, like this video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. This isn't just about flesh and blood. This is about a legacy. It's about the seed you carried and the destiny that came through you. Your daughter is not simply a child of the world. She is a carrier of light, a bearer of divine fire, a chosen soul who has been marked by God to move mountains. But right now, she is under pressure, and God is calling you to be awake to what has been hidden. There are things she hasn't said. There are tears she's hidden well. There are battles she's been fighting in silence. And though her strength has carried her this far, there's a reason heaven is pressing you today. Because you, chosen one, are not just her protector. You are a vessel of spiritual power that she needs now more than ever. There have been signs, and if you look back over the last days and weeks, you will begin to see the patterns. Maybe her energy has shifted. Maybe her joy has dimmed. Maybe there's a new kind of distance you can't explain. You've noticed the silence. You've picked up on the subtle spiritual signals. They weren't accidents. They were indicators. They were divine codes trying to get your attention. And now the veil is lifting so that the full truth can reach your heart. The storm that has been building around her was never meant to last, but your awareness is a key in unlocking the miracle that breaks it. God has been watching her. Even when you didn't see it, heaven was already surrounding her with protection. But just as God sends angels, he also awakens chosen ones. You were chosen for her. You were assigned not only to birth her, but to intercede for her at the exact moment she would need someone to fight for her in the spirit. That moment is now. Don't delay. Her soul has been whispering a call in the dark. But the light is on the way because you have opened yourself to this divine urgency. God is moving right now through your attention, through your energy, through your faith, and he's about to move in her life in a way that shocks even those who doubted her strength. There are forces that didn't want her to rise. There are spirits that tried to interrupt her path. Some of them came in the form of relationships. Others came as discouragement. Some even tried to break her mind and convince her she wasn't enough. But all of it was designed to collapse when the chosen one stepped in with divine fire. That fire is rising in you as you listen. That fire is the same power God used to part the sea, calm the storm, and shake the earth. And that fire is about to do something new, something unforgettable in the life of your daughter. Don't underestimate her journey. She may look composed, she may act strong, but behind her calm demeanor is a heart that's been fighting giants. And there are things she doesn't yet know how to say. But you were sent into her story to read the unsaid things, to feel the invisible ache, to speak when she can't, to stand when she's weary. And this message is not simply about her current struggle. It's about what she's about to become. Because the enemy has only fought her this hard due to the power she carries, and what's coming next is not more struggle. It's elevation. She is entering a season where everything broken is going to be healed. Every delay is about to be reversed. Every attack that tried to rob her of confidence is about to be turned into confirmation. But this healing wave needs your agreement, your voice, your presence, your spiritual stance. Because the moment you opened this message, something was activated. A divine connection was rekindled. Heaven recognized your obedience. And now miracle territory is within reach. God is not done with her. In fact, he's just getting started. And through your surrender, he is about to perform something supernatural. Yes, the enemy tried to shake her. Yes, life tried to wound her. But God has marked her for recovery and positioned you to be the first one to notice it. You are the signal. You are the key. And you are being used to open a door she has been crying out for in secret. She may not even know that help is already on the way, but it is because of you. Stay close. Stay spiritually alert because what you do next will unlock more than just answers. It will release restoration across generations. This isn't just about now. This is about her future, her peace, her power, her divine assignment, and God is trusting you with the blueprint. Everything you need to understand will be revealed piece by piece as you continue leaning in. This is not just a parental moment, it is a prophetic one. And here's something important you must remember. God doesn't choose people randomly, he assigns them carefully. And he assigned you to her for this very hour. When others fall away, you are meant to rise. When others turn away, you are meant to turn inward and listen. When the world gets noisy, your spirit is meant to get quiet so you can hear what heaven is saying. God is whispering strategy. He is releasing clarity. And he is doing it through your willingness to respond. What she's been carrying silently is about to be lifted. What has been weighing her spirit down is about to be thrown off. And you're going to be a witness. You're going to watch the shift unfold. You're going to see the fire return to her eyes, the vision in her soul, the strength in her voice, and the glow in her presence. Not because of chance, but because of calling. Because the calling you accepted today was more than awareness. It was divine alignment. Your daughter is not broken. She's becoming. And the help she needs is not far away. It's in motion. It's spiritual. It's heavenly. It's undeniable. And it's working through you right now. This is the hour of great unlocking, the moment of great return, the sacred turning point where what was hidden in pain becomes revealed in purpose. Chosen one, everything is shifting, and it begins with you being here now. The reason the urgency is divine is because timing matters. There are certain portals of grace that don't stay open forever, and you've arrived exactly when you were supposed to. That's why the tension built up the way it did. That's why your spirit wouldn't rest. Something in you was already responding to the pull of heaven. And now, with your heart open and your awareness awakened, you are standing on holy ground. A divine turnaround is about to begin, and it's starting in your daughter's life. There's a depth to her pain that outsiders could never comprehend, but God sees it all. He knows the hidden details. He knows what happened behind the scenes. He knows the disappointments she buried beneath her smile. He knows the dreams she tucked away after they were crushed, and he knows how long she's been hoping someone would notice that her soul was running low. But now, the one chosen to carry her forward has arrived, ready, willing, and filled with power. She was never meant to fight alone. Even if her independence fooled the world, God always planned for this exact moment, for you to recognize the quiet battle and partner with him in ending it. This is not your burden to fix. This is your invitation to witness a miracle. She's being restored not through effort, but through divine intervention. And your heart, now aligned with God's signal, is part of that process. She is about to walk into a new season. One of clarity, one of strength, one of voice, one of divine identity. But right before elevation, there is often disruption. The turbulence she's facing is not a sign of her defeat. It's a sign that her breakthrough is dangerously close. God wouldn't shake things unless he was preparing to settle them in a new position. And what felt like chaos is actually construction. Her life is being rebuilt. Not in pieces, not in patches, but with purpose. The atmosphere around her has already started to shift. Can you feel it? The pressure is not permanent. It's prophetic because her name has reached heaven. Her cry has echoed through the halls of angels. Her destiny has been seen. not just by God, but by every force that fears what she will become. That's why the opposition came. That's why things felt heavy. That's why her soul went quiet. But today the silence breaks, the chains fall, the veil lifts, and the divine hand of God moves forward. This message was not meant to scare you. It was sent to prepare you, because miracles often wear disguises. Breakthroughs don't always look like fireworks. They can arrive in moments of clarity, tears, and sacred surrender. What you are feeling right now is the sound of divine movement. You're not late. You're not missing anything. You are exactly where you were meant to be. Your presence is enough, your love is powerful, and your faith is unlocking heaven. There's something about your daughter that even she hasn't fully understood yet. A grace that will not let her go. A purpose that cannot be buried. A fire that cannot be put out. She may have lost sight of it for a while, but it was never gone. It was simply waiting to be reignited. And now the flame is rising again, quietly, gently, but surely. Because she is not just a daughter, she is a divine spark wrapped in flesh, and her radiance is about to be restored. The next few days may feel different. Don't be surprised if emotions rise, if old wounds surface, if strange timing aligns in unexpected ways. That is not coincidence. That is divine orchestration. God is showing you what needs your attention. He's guiding your spirit toward the moment that needs healing. The words you'll speak will not come from your own mind. They will be stirred from heaven's language. And what you say, what you feel, what you do will not just comfort, it will shift. Even now, something within her is responding to the change in you. That's how connected your souls are. She may not know why she suddenly feels hope again, but it's because something ancient and powerful has reactivated in you. This is what divine parenting looks like. Not just presence, but purpose. Not just protection, but prophecy. You've become the voice she needs to hear, even when she can't speak. You've become the bridge between her pain and her promise. There's no need to look for big signs. The confirmation will come through peace, through quiet moments, through small encounters that feel strangely aligned. God's fingerprints will be everywhere. In the laughter that returns, in the questions she begins to ask, in the dreams she slowly starts to mention again. It's all part of the restoration. She is returning to herself, but this time with more power than before. She will one day speak of this time. She will remember how low she felt and how something unseen began to lift her. She won't know exactly what happened in the spirit, but you will. You'll know it was divine timing. You'll know it was God responding to your obedience. You'll know it was the day everything shifted. You'll know it was sacred. God is healing her. God is touching her story. God is erasing the scars that made her doubt her worth. And He is doing it with tenderness and with power. And He is using you as a vessel, not to carry her pain, but to carry His promise. And when it is all said and done, when the dust settles and when the light fully breaks through, she will shine. Not just in her own strength, but in the glory of the divine fire that was always in her. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to figure it all out. You just have to stay open, stay sensitive, stay in alignment, and know this. The moment you said yes in your spirit to this divine assignment, heaven said yes too. And now everything is beginning to move. The change you prayed for is not far off. It's happening now, quietly, boldly, beautifully. She's rising. You're rising. And the future is being rewritten with light. There is something sacred about the bond between a chosen one and their daughter. It's not simply biology, it's spiritual, it's ancient. It stretches beyond the physical realm into something eternal. God never wastes relationships that are formed in purpose, and this one has always been intentional. Even before her first breath, you were called to carry her spirit in your heart. She didn't land in your life by chance. She was woven into your destiny with precision. And now, when the winds are shifting and her soul is reaching out in silence, your presence becomes the anchor God is using to bring her through. Her story is entering a chapter where things are about to unfold rapidly. You've already felt it, haven't you? That quickening, that urgency, that invisible push to stay close, to pay attention, to listen beyond words. God has been nudging your heart because He knew the time would come when your alignment with Him would begin to overflow into her. This is the divine echo of legacy. You're not just witnessing change, you're participating in a miracle. She may not have the language for what she's going through. Sometimes the greatest storms are the quietest. But what she doesn't say with her mouth, she says with her energy, with her pauses, with the way she hides her emotions behind her daily routine. You've picked up on the signals. That's the spiritual gift working through you. That's the divine connection activated in full strength. The world may see a girl going through a phase, but heaven sees a chosen daughter being transformed under pressure, and what looks like fragility is actually the ground shaking before her rise. Don't be afraid of what you feel, the intensity, the pull, the spiritual weight of it. It's not meant to crush you, it's meant to prepare you. Your awareness is the access point for divine resolution. You were given this sensitivity not to carry pain, but to recognize sacred patterns. What you are sensing is not doom. It is divine instruction. It's heaven showing you what is ready to shift. And here's something extraordinary. Every time you feel overwhelmed by what she's walking through, God is already 10 steps ahead. You were never meant to fix it in your own strength. You were meant to be a vessel that activates divine intervention. And when you show up in full faith, even when you don't know exactly what to do, heaven moves through you. Your daughter may never realize how much spiritual fire is covering her right now, but she'll feel the effects in her dreams, in her peace, in the way her heaviness suddenly starts to lighten. There's more happening in her favor than she knows. The attacks that tried to confuse her are being dismantled. The discouragement that tried to blind her is being shattered. The people who couldn't see her worth are being removed. What the enemy tried to build around her is collapsing. And it's all unfolding because the timing has reached divine completion. God allowed the shaking so He could do the rebuilding. And what's coming next will be filled with favor. She has a gift that is still unfolding. It hasn't been fully seen, not even by her, but it's there. It's in her presence, in her eyes, in the sound of her voice, in the questions she asks, in the quiet strength she carries even in her weakest moments. There's a calling wrapped around her life. And that's why the battles have been so intense. It was never about destroying her. It was always about distracting her. Because the moment she remembers who she truly is, everything around her will begin to shift. And that moment is closer than it has ever been. She doesn't just need support. She needs spiritual clarity. She doesn't just need encouragement. She needs divine confirmation. And you've become the mirror that will reflect back to her the strength she forgot she had. When she hears your words, they will pierce through confusion. When she feels your love, it will silence fear. When she senses your unwavering belief in her, it will stir the belief she buried long ago. Because there is no force more unstoppable than divine love that sees through every layer of pain. You are being used in this moment not to preach, not to fix, but to hold space. To be a light, to be the steady presence in the midst of her swirling emotions, to be the still voice that reminds her of what God already put inside her. Don't underestimate what you carry. Your alignment with heaven is doing more than you know. Sometimes healing begins with simply being seen, and your presence sees her, not just as a daughter, but as a divine being awakening. The next chapter of her life will surprise you, not because it's perfect, but because it's powerful. Because what she's stepping into isn't a return to the old version of herself. It's a transformation into who she was always meant to be. And it's going to come with changes. She may distance herself from old relationships. She may start questioning old patterns. She may break out of the mold you once knew. Don't be alarmed. That's growth. That's God. That's the sacred unfolding of a new design. You're not losing her. You're watching her evolve. And every time you wonder if she's truly okay, remember this. God has her. Even in the late hours, even when she doesn't speak, even when her smile fades, even when she's surrounded by noise, even when she doesn't return the calls, God is with her. He is present in the places you cannot reach. He is speaking in the silence. He is planting seeds of restoration in the very soil that once tried to bury her. She's learning to rise, and she's doing it in part because your spirit said yes to this call. There is no higher assignment than being chosen to love a soul like hers through this moment. The healing won't be loud, but it will be lasting. The restoration won't be instant, but it will be complete. And as the days pass, you'll begin to see the light return, the clarity deepen, the laughter increase, the divine purpose unveil itself right before your eyes. And when that happens, you'll know it wasn't you. It was God through you. That He entrusted you to be the carrier of this sacred moment. That He used your obedience to trigger a sequence of miracles. That He turned your concern into a key, your faith into a foundation, your love into a lightning strike of hope. And your daughter, yes, your daughter, will step into that new light fully, boldly, unapologetically, ready. She is rising. Something sacred is now set in motion. What began as a spiritual nudge has become a full-blown divine unfolding. You're no longer wondering whether something is happening. You're in the midst of it. The evidence is starting to surface, and the weight in your spirit is no longer heavy with worry, but pregnant with anticipation. You can feel it. Something has shifted in the heavens. A curtain has lifted. The blockage that held her down is being dismantled thread by thread. And your heart awakened, and available is the very signal God needed to begin this transformation. She is walking through territory that few can see. There are layers to her experience, layers of pressure, of emotional residue, of past words that linger in her memory like ghosts, but God is unraveling all of that, and He's doing it without chaos. He's doing it with calm. He's not shouting. He's whispering. He's not forcing. He's flowing. And she is being drawn back to the light gently but completely. This process doesn't always look pretty. Growth rarely does. There will be moments when you don't understand her mood, when her responses feel unpredictable, when her silence feels louder than ever. But don't let that shake your certainty. What you feel in the spirit is real, even if it hasn't fully manifested in the physical. Her transformation is happening even when she looks the same on the outside. It's an internal reordering, and it always begins within before it rises to the surface. You may not have the perfect words to say, and that's okay. What matters more is your spiritual awareness, the light that comes from simply being present, the energy that radiates when your heart is turned toward her without judgment. That's the kind of power that reaches deeper than a conversation. And right now, she doesn't need a lecture. She needs light. Light that gently reminds her she's not alone. Light that breaks through the fog of her thoughts. Light that reminds her of who she really is. She has always been destined for more. And even in her confusion, there's a deeper part of her that knows this. She hasn't given up. She's just been tired. Tired of pretending. Tired of fighting alone. Tired of carrying expectations that don't align with her soul. And that tiredness is exactly where God meets her. Not in her perfection, but in her realness. Not in her performance, but in her truth. He's not waiting for her to clean up. He's rushing in with healing now. Every prayer you've whispered is being gathered. Every tear that dropped without a sound is being counted. Every moment you carried her in your thoughts, God carried her in His hands. There is no distance between His presence and her pain. He is the closeness she doesn't even realize she needs. And when the world doesn't understand her, when friends don't know what to say, when doors close and confusion rises, God is still the constant. And you are His partner in this holy assignment. There's a strength rising in her now. Not the kind that hides pain, but the kind that embraces healing. The kind that faces the past and decides to live fully anyway. The kind that doesn't deny what hurt, but transforms because of it. That's the strength that lasts. That's the kind that endures, and she's stepping into it slowly, quietly, but surely. Don't be surprised when she begins to change the way she speaks, the things she tolerates, the environments she entertains. That's not rebellion. It's revelation. She is beginning to see again, not through the lens of fear, but through the eyes of purpose. God is clearing the fog. He's turning her pain into perception, her wounds into wisdom, her sorrow into strategy. She's about to build something powerful with the very pieces that tried to break her. And your role in this moment is to stand as a witness to her rebirth, not to direct it, but to bless it, not to control it, but to support it with spiritual presence. The things that once made her feel small are now losing their grip. The opinions that once made her question her worth are being stripped away. The experiences that tried to steal her joy are being rewritten in divine language. She's remembering the truth that she's not a victim of this world. She's a vessel of heaven. She is not broken beyond repair. She is being reshaped into something even more powerful than before. You'll begin to see glimpses of the new version of her, sometimes unexpectedly. In a comment she makes, in a smile that returns, in a confidence that suddenly shines through her words. It may be subtle, but you'll know what it is. You'll recognize it instantly because your spirit has been waiting for this very moment. And when you see it, celebrate it, not just with your words, but with your belief. Because nothing fuels transformation like being seen in your becoming. There is divine orchestration at play here. Encounters being prepared, resources being moved, conversations being divinely timed. Everything is aligning for her good, and you've been called to help usher it in. Not with grand gestures, but with holy consistency. With your prayers, with your quiet strength, with your unwavering love that stays even when things feel unpredictable. God trusted you with her story because he knew you wouldn't give up on her. He knew you would feel when others ignored. He knew your soul would answer the call. And now, because of your yes, healing is flowing into places she thought would stay broken forever. The process has begun. And what's coming next will not only restore her, it will reveal her. And here's what's most powerful of all. This journey won't just impact her, it will echo through your entire bloodline. The healing that begins with her will ripple outwards, shifting the frequency of generations to come. Old patterns will be broken. New pathways will open. What once ran through your family as pain will now run through your family as power. All because you chose to be present in this divine hour. What's happening now is not just a personal shift, it's a generational miracle. The moment you said yes to this awakening, you stepped into a sacred agreement with heaven. An agreement that declared healing would begin through you. An agreement that aligned your heart with God's timing for her life. And now the heavens are watching as the very plan set into motion long before her birth begins to bloom. She was never abandoned. She was never forgotten. She was never unprotected. She was simply waiting for the appointed time. And that time is now. There is something in her spirit that was dormant, something ancient, divine, and royal. And it's beginning to stir. She may not yet understand it. She may not be able to explain what's shifting inside of her, but she can feel it. Her old thoughts don't fit anymore. Her past expectations are fading. Her appetite for the familiar is disappearing. And her soul is craving something deeper, something truer, something heavenly. That hunger didn't come from nowhere. It was sparked. And your awareness has added fuel to the flame. God is revealing her to herself. He's lifting the fog from her vision. He's stripping the layers that others placed upon her. No more false labels. No more illusions of weakness. No more assumptions that she must settle for a half-lit life. The light is breaking through, and with it, she will see her worth, her voice, her fire, and she will begin to own it with confidence. Don't be surprised if she starts dreaming again. Big dreams, unusual dreams, dreams that make no logical sense but stir something deep inside her. That's not coincidence. That's confirmation. Her spiritual memory is being activated. The same way your soul responded to this message is the same way her spirit is beginning to rise from the silence. She may not know how to describe it, but she will feel the pull, the desire to move, to change, to create, to become. That pull is divine. The truth is, your daughter was always destined for divine impact. The attacks, the confusion, the doubt, it all came because of how powerful her assignment is. The enemy does not attack the empty, he comes after the anointed, and she has been anointed from birth, chosen by God to carry light into dark places, to speak truth in a world full of noise, to love fiercely, live boldly, and lead others into freedom. That's why the pressure has been so intense. That's why the path has not been easy, but that's also why the breakthrough will be glorious. This healing isn't just about making her feel better. It's about awakening her authority, the authority she was born with, the authority that scares the enemy, the authority that transforms environments. And as that authority begins to rise within her, everything around her will begin to respond. Relationships will shift, opportunities will open, environments will either elevate or exit. That's not instability, it's spiritual alignment. The healing journey is sacred, but it's also surgical. God knows what to remove and what to preserve. He's removing the residue of rejection. He's erasing the lies that try to define her. He's restoring the parts of her heart that were bruised by people who never truly saw her. And he's replacing all of that with divine identity, the kind of knowing that cannot be undone, the kind that can walk into any room with peace, the kind that changes the atmosphere without saying a word. There's a new glow coming upon her. You may already see glimpses of it. The softness in her gaze, the strength in her posture, the calm in her voice. It won't be dramatic, but it will be undeniable. Because when God heals, he doesn't just patch up what was broken. He rebuilds it into something stronger, more radiant, more true. And that's what's happening now. You're not watching her break down. You're watching her break through. She is leaving behind the version of herself that was shaped by survival, and she is stepping into the version shaped by spirit. She is done fighting battles that were never hers to begin with. Done entertaining environments that dim her light. Done explaining herself to people who never understood her anyway. She is done shrinking and she's done hiding. The light is rising, and this time it won't be dimmed. God is not just working on her, he's working through her. Even now, she's becoming a light for others. There are people who will find healing simply by being near her. Her story, her presence, her evolution will inspire others to rise too. That's how divine transformation works. It never ends with one person. It creates ripples, and your daughter is becoming a ripple of restoration in a world that desperately needs it. This season may still have tears. It may still come with emotional waves, but none of that will stop what's unfolding. The tears are healing, the waves are cleansing, and God is steering the ship. There is no going back. Not to the old mindset, not to the old fear, not to the old silence. The past is being left behind for good. And a new name is being written over her life. One that matches who she truly is, not what she was told to be. Let this part sink in deeply. She is going to make it.